ever taught a class to an empty room. So forgive me if I make a bunch of mistakes or disappear out of camera view. As you can tell, I'm in my condo. I don't have access to a dojo right now. So probably like everybody else, we're limited for space. So today is the introduction to Chiba Sensei's weapon system. We're going to be working with the Jo today. And like I said, space is somewhat restricted. So I'm going to use my restricted space Jo. As you can see, only comes up to my belly button. So I do have a TV over here, which I'm able to watch and see what's going on. I have a list of things that we're going to do. First of all, I want to apologize that when I sent out the list of techniques, I said we'd be doing Kaishi Uchiotoshi, and of course I meant Kaete Uchiotoshi. A lot of people I know are probably wondering what the heck that means, but we'll get to that. So I'm not going to talk without doing much action because you don't need to sit and watch me talk. So let's start. Hopefully everybody has something they can use as a Jo, even if it's just a little short stick like this. If you don't have a Jo and you want to join in, then do everything empty-handed. The only thing the Jo gives you is reach. And what we want to do is build into our body that same reach, that same extension that we would get when using a Jo. So let's get started. So first of all, this is a beginner's class. So I'm going to have you grab your Jo in your right hand right at the very end. Okay, your second hand's just going to go in front, as if you were sort of pointing with both fingers. Don't actually point, but just grab the Jo. So the first thing we're going to do, and everybody's probably done this in their regular body arts class, and it's the rowing exercise. So we stand with our feet in our classic hanmi position, so a T. I'll face you, so in a T, and we're going to rock forwards and push our hands forward, and then pull our hands back. So moving our center back and forth. So if I'm standing this way, moving the center back and forth. Okay, big motion. We're going to be doing a lot of this. So you see how the front knee bends and then the back knee bends. So one straightens, one bends, like so. So this is just a good exercise to practice. Okay, now with our Jo, right hand on the end, left hand in front. We're going to drop the Jo nice and relaxed. Pull the Jo back all the way to the end. So we're almost covering the end. Lean forwards and just push the Jo all the way out. Then come back. And go forwards again. So as we go back, we're pulling. As we go forwards, we're pushing. And we're going to start building some good habits, because bad habits are very hard to break. So a good habit to have is to, well, let me start with a bad habit. I call it a bad habit. It's not really, but I would suggest that we do something different. And that is, a lot of people will have their palm up. And when they move the Jo, they're basically just resting the Jo on their hands and sliding it back and forth. What I would suggest is that this builds a habit that you'll probably have a hard time changing. So what I suggest is that you turn your hand palm down, okay? Palm down on front. So when you go forwards, you just relax the grip a little bit and allow it to slide. Now, why is this important? Well, we deal in a martial art. So when we move on to actual techniques, rather than just swinging a Jo to feel the length of the weapon, what might happen is they could knock it out of our hands. So they could knock it up. If they knock it up and our hands are palm up, the front hand is palm up, then when they knock it up, it can hit you in the head. If it doesn't hit you in the head and they hit hard, it's going to go over here. Now, since we have a partner who might be attacking us, we don't want to look over here to try and find where our Jo is to bring it back. By that time, he's already hit us multiple times. So if you put your hand palm down, if they were to hit the Jo up, it would go into your arm. If they were to knock it down, it goes down. It's right here. It's easy to pick up. You don't even have to look. So we go down, we could pick it up here and continue doing whatever it was we were doing. So Just as we do this exercise, forwards and back, keep your palm down on the front hand. This is not a ski, this is just a warm-up exercise. And of course, you can do it on both sides. And the idea is to find the length of your Jyo. So let's talk about something real quick. I'm going to be using 3 different Jyos today, and each one has this colored end. Now, Chiba Sensei designed his Jyo system based on a spear. So a spear obviously has one end which is pointed and sharp, and then the other end which has a metal casing around it, which is solid. So that's an impact side, and the other one's a cutting side. So while I'm not really using this as a sharp implement, it's just to show that we are actually using different ends of the Jyo when we do different techniques, okay? So we've done our basic warm-up, sliding back and forth, okay? I'm just trying to get my feet in shot here. There we go. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna throw over. This is like doing Shomen Uchi. So the first one was the rowing exercise. Second one's just going to be Shomen Uchi with different feet. So left foot, right hand. Shomen Uchi like this. So if you don't have a Jyo, this is what you'll be doing. Those with the Jyo, again, holding the Jyo as if our fingers were pointing forwards. We're going to pull the Jyo back. And as I pull the Jyo back, my right thumb is going to come to the opposite side of the Jyo, like so. Okay. So I pull, and now as I pull the Jyo back, you can see the end is just rotating in the palm of my hand, like so. 1. So my hand is effectively just moving to the opposite side of the Jyo, like so. So once I get all the way here, I'm going to lay this end of the Jyo in my hand. I'm just going to throw the end over. Now, I recommend you don't stand by your TV when you do this, because if you drop it, and I guarantee you I'm probably going to drop it at some point this evening, you don't want your significant other or mom or dad or whatever to be upset that you broke their TV. So pull the Jyo back. Your thumb is going up in the air, and then just launch the Jyo forwards. Keeping this hand in contact, pull the Jyo back, and you're just repeating the action. Okay. So again, if you don't have a Jyo, just think of doing Shomen Uchi. Body is moving back and forth, like so. These are just exercises, again, to learn the length and the weight and the balance of your Jyo. And of course, you can do it the other side. And you'll probably find that one side works better for you than the other. If you're left-handed, this one might work better for you. Whereas if you're right-handed, the other side will probably work better for you. But it's important to get proficient both sides. Okay, next, another exercise. With our right foot forward, get in frame here. Hold the Jyo with about 8, 10 inches free above your hand. You're holding it with your thumb uppermost. And all we're going to do is push the Jyo out in front and then hit with the back end. Okay, so push the Jyo out, hit with the back end. Let it come down to the opposite side. So now it's on my left, and then swing it back the other way. And then let it come. Forwards, backwards, and so on. 1, 2. It's really important that you don't muscle this because it will look horrible. Look what happens as I muscle it. Yeah, goes everywhere. Just relax and let it turn. Try not to swing your arms to the side, to the left and right. The Jyo is almost central. And we rock forwards as we strike and back, forwards, back, forwards, back. Again, this rowing exercise. Okay. And then if you have space, just loosen up and let the jo go. Don't let go. And then work on the opposite side. Throw it forwards and back. And again, you'll probably notice one side is better than the other. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but using two hands. So initially I'm going to stand parallel, so my feet side by side. Let me come back a little bit. So we're going to push the jo out towards the front, rotate the tip to the left side. Now you see the back end comes out. Continue the rotation until our palm is up. So the hand that's holding the jo, palm is up. Our second hand is our back hand. With the palm facing the front, we're going to grab from the back of the jo. And then push the front out again. And we're going to hit with the back. Bring it over to the right hand side so the palm is up. And then we're going to grab again from behind with our palm facing forwards and push again. So this is just a figure 8 motion with the jo. Now, we don't want to bring the jo, excuse me, we don't want to bring the jo like this. This is kind of like, almost like a propeller of a plane. No, we want the jo to spin directly forwards. So, forwards, yeah, forwards. Hips are turning as we strike. Like so. So again, this is just to feel the weight and balance of your jo. As you can see now, I'm using just 2 fingers. Yeah, so the jo is turning because my hips are moving it forwards, and I'm not trying to do anything other than take a grip with my fingers. Okay, again, I don't necessarily recommend you try this. This is your first time because you'll probably break something. It'll probably be something expensive. So as you get more used to this, you can go faster, but the important thing is just to remember that the jo is turning and you are allowing it to go and just adding a little bit of power. Okay. So now, this is a different jo. Again, most of my normal weapons are at the dojo. So this is a jo that's a little bit big for me. It should normally come down to about here. So it's a couple inches too big. But again, here we go with the jo. I have quite high ceilings, but they're not quite high enough to do everything I want to do. Okay, so now we're able to go forwards. And if we really examine what we're doing, pushing the jo over, rotating it till the palm is upmost and grabbing from behind, and then doing the same thing on the opposite side, grabbing from behind, letting go with the front hand. Grabbing from behind, letting go with the front hand. Then we should be able to do the opposite. We should be able to grab with the backhand and then grab from the front and let go with the backhand. Now it's going backwards. So once our palm is up, we grab in front, let go from the backhand. Grab in front, let go from the backhand. So now we're rotating the opposite direction. And you might find it's awkward because you're using different muscles in a different timing than you were in the previous version. So if you want to reverse, you just reverse. Now I'm going forwards again. That's my cat. I don't know if you can see her. That's Pebbles. She's waiting for dinner. And backwards again. So the interesting thing about being able to go forwards and backwards is that you can rotate. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my short jo here. So you can walk and turn around. So if I'm now going to be in hanmi, so my right foot is forward just for this particular time. So I'm doing my rotations. Now, if I step forwards and bring the jo around and grab it from behind, and now turn and follow my jo, Now I've just done 360-degree turn without changing the direction or speed or anything of the jo. Yes. One, palm up, I'm facing this way. Let it go, point to the back, step backwards, bring the jo around, and then follow the jo. So you don't have to do this. This is just a warm-up exercise. So finally, so a number of other things you can do to get the manipulation of your jo so that you don't have to think about it too much is holding the jo out in front of you, rotate it, and then grab it again. Okay, so it's just rolling across the back. This is much easier with a longer jo than it is with a shorter jo. Shorter jo is going to rotate faster. Okay, what I don't want you to try and do is grab it, because you will drop it, guarantee. So all you want to do is just find the center. There's the center, and then make the side near your belly just a little heavier, like so. That gives you more on one side than the other. Now just rotate over and let it rotate. Push it back the other way and it goes over. Okay, and obviously do that both sides, left and right hand. When you get used to doing this, you can hold the jo down and you can come backwards and forwards, like so. Then if you have enough space, which we'll find out whether I do, you can go over your head. Okay, so all these things that you can try. All right, Ram, how are we doing? Do we have any questions so far from the crowd? Because this is supposed to be interactive. So if you have questions about what we're doing, please, please chime in. I will say that, like I said, everything that we're doing so far can be done empty-handed. So we were doing the two-handed figure eights. So how does this work? Well, this could be Ikkyo, yeah, figure eights, Ikkyo omote, Ikkyo ura. Okay, so there's a direct correlation between what we do in weapons and what we do empty-handed. Give me 1 second, I just got to admit somebody here. Okay, so moving on. When we hold the jo, we're always going to hold it with our right hand, just like we were holding a hammer. Okay, a left hand, there are two ways that we can hold the jo. So we're going to start, in this case, with the tip down. Again, I'm don't really care which end is down at this point. My left leg is going to be forward, and I'm going to point the jo towards the ground. I would recommend not sticking the jo in the ground, just because if you get it caught there, you're not going to be able to move. If somebody hits it and you're supporting it at the top and the bottom, they're going to snap their jo. So just put it close to the ground. Your other hand is going to be palm up, so that if we were to push the jo out in front of us, our thumbs would be pointing in the same direction, like so. This is called Jyunte, or normal grip. Okay. So this is Jyunte. Now, if we wanted to change the end that we're using to strike somebody or thrust at somebody, we have an issue. This, if we hold it Jyunte, the only way we can rotate it is back towards us, which if this is the blade, that's not such a great idea, okay? So we have another grip, and that's Gyakute. And again, it's real simple. We're holding like this. Now we're going to rotate our hand. So now our thumbs are pointing towards each other. So Gyakute, or reverse grip, thumbs are together. Jyunte, the thumbs are going in the same direction. Gyakute, Jyunte, Gyakute, Jyunte. With Gyakute, it becomes very easy to rotate the jo. So for example, if I am doing techniques here, and then I'm threatening my partner with the blunt end, I can rotate it to get to the sharp end if I am in Gyakute. Okay? You would never really want to bring the sharp end towards you by holding it in Jyunte and trying to rotate. So that's Jyunte and Gyakute. And as you're doing techniques, you may find that you're doing hand changes that should be very free and easy because you've practiced these hand changes, yeah? All right, let's see if Ram is there. Ram, are you there?
Yes, Julian, sorry about that.
That's okay.
There's no chat questions, but you want me to unmute everyone so they can ask a question?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Remember, when you remute, you can have to unmute me again. So if there are any questions so far, before we go on to actual techniques. And just so you know, I cannot see you. So, any questions?
Can you demonstrate the reverse one that you did?
Okay, who am I talking to?
This is Bridget from Tampa, Florida.
Okay, Bridget, nice to meet you.
Nice
The reverse one gets everybody. So the way you work out the reverse technique is by examining what you do on the forward technique. So the forward technique, we point the rear end, and then we continue the rotation until our palm is up. And then we reach from behind with an open hand and grab and push forwards. And we do the same on the opposite side. Once the palm is up, we grab from behind with an open hand and then push it forwards. So let's reverse this. Our timing was front hand, back hand, right? Front hand, back hand. Well, now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do, let me start here. We're going to rotate so the palm is up. So we're going reverse direction. We're going to grab in front and our hand is going to point backwards. So everything is reversed. Palm is up, grabbing from the front with the palm facing backwards. Let it rotate, bring it out to the opposite side. Let it come back up. As soon as you get to the point where you can't twist anymore, that's where you're going to grab from in front. Release the other hand and let it rotate. Grabbing in front, as soon as your palm goes up, grab it in front, hand pointing backwards, and just let it rotate. Does that help, Bridget?
That's perfect, thank you.
Okay, that may be an exercise for you to do at home. Don't break anything. Okay, any other questions before we move on? Okay, Ram, if you wouldn't mind muting everybody and then unmute yourself and me, and then let me know when I can go ahead.
Go ahead, Julian.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so now we're going to go on to actual technique. We're going to do ski, kesa, and shomen. We do them in that order. So let me try and make sure I'm lined up with the camera here. Should be. So our ski is going to be from Jyunte grip. So remember, holding the jo like a hammer, grabbing in front with the left hand, and our hands want to be spaced about shoulder width apart. If you grab too far, you limit your range of motion. If you grab too close, your jo is uncontrollable. So bring the jo up to your chest, grab about shoulder width apart. And that's where your hands are going to be. Now we're going to place one end or other. It doesn't matter. To me, I'm going to be using the red end. I'm going to put it down towards the ground, and I'm covering the center line of my body. Again, feet are in hanmi. All I'm going to do is drop the jo horizontally. I'm going to pull the jo all the way back. So I'm covering the end. Okay, covering the end. Then I'm going to slide off the line because my left foot is forward. I'm going to slide towards the 11 o'clock position on the clock face with the front foot. So I'm slightly off the line, bring the back foot with me, and then thrust the jo forwards. My jo is going to come from my hip to just below my shoulder. So it looks like this. Drop and cover the end of the jo. Slide forwards, throw the jo forwards, and bring right hand up to your armpit. The jo should be pointing very slightly down because we want gravity to be pushing into our partner. Okay. So again, drop your hands and pull the jo all the way back. Cover the end. Slide slightly off the line. Bring your back foot off the line also. Keep the front foot bent. Thrust and tip slightly down so that we're pushing into the partner. You notice that my left hand is all the way on top and rotating. Everything we do involves rotation. So I stole this idea from somebody else. This is a ruler attached to my jo. And this will give you an idea of rotation. So you can see the ruler right now. I'm going to pull it back and the ruler has rotated. I'm going to slide forwards off the line. Now watch the rotation. Doesn't matter how many times it rotates, but it is rotating. See the rotation. Do it from behind, just in case. So there's our rotation. We are sliding off the line. And the reason being is that if you imagine somebody doesn't get loud, my coming towards us, we're just moving off the line, okay? We don't have to move very far because the jo's only 1 inch in diameter, okay? So it's coming here, that's as far as we need to go. If we go all the way out here, an attacker can see us moving and can watch us moving, and they can change their attack to face that person, okay? So bring the jo down, relax. Slide forwards towards 11 o'clock, adjust your back foot, so now we're at an angle, and then thrust and push out. Again, if this jo gets knocked down, it's okay, it's right there. If it gets knocked up, it's not going anywhere. If our hands are open here and somebody hits it, I have to chase it. So the grip, like we said at the beginning, we're starting good martial habits by controlling the jo. Now these are, the way we're doing it is basically a stationary, perfect kata type of ski. So we're trying to perfect the motion. But what you find is when we actually do it in motion, we all tend to get a little bit lazy, right? So I'm back to the small one. So we tend to overextend a little bit. Yeah, so I'm no longer stopping here, I'm overextending. And that's, you know, it's not perfect. We try and be perfect all the time, but, you know, in motion things change. So don't get too carried away that you feel you have to lock and be stiff. It's much better to be smooth and fluid than it is to be solid and rough, okay? So that's ski. And of course, again, you can do it both sides. Yeah, Jyunte grip, and so on. Now we can do ski Gyakute grip also. So with Gyakute grip, our thumbs pointing towards each other, it's the same thing. Okay, you notice my elbow comes up because I want my weight on my jo, because the tip is going to be pushing down slightly. Okay, so that was ski. Now we're just going to move on to Kesa. Kesa is named after a priest's jacket. So just like our jacket, we have a V right across here. Might be a little bit overexposed. We have a V, like so, and like so. The strike is going to be a diagonal strike to the side of the head. So it can be anywhere from almost vertical, the top of the head, to almost horizontal. It's within that arc here. So I'm going to start with the tip, the red tip pointing down. Now, I don't know what the age group is of here, but you might remember a guy they called the Fonz, and the Fonz was very cool. For those who are too young to remember the Fonz, I apologize. What we're going to do is we're going to move with our front foot. So our left foot is forward. We're in Jyunte grip, our hands shoulder width apart. We're going to imagine that somebody's doing a thrust directly to our center. So for us to move, we have to move around that ski. So we're going to lower the jo, slide with the front foot over to 1 o'clock, and parry the jo behind us. Now I said, remember the Fonz. The Fonz is cool, right? Because what did the Fonz do? He said, never mess with the hair, right? So we're gonna use our hair, or our hands to brush our hair. So if we're in front, we're gonna step to 1 o'clock, moving forwards. We're gonna bring our hands as if we were brushing our hair. Yeah? The jo tip, the red tip is pointing down. Okay? With a full length jo, you can see that the tip of, or that the length of my jo is actually protecting my body. Okay? Here, down, move, and bring your jo over the top of your head. Don't raise your elbow out. Yeah, not like this. Just relax. As this moves, we are now past the tip of their jo. So we're going to step, oh, excuse me. We're going to step back towards the line, bring the jo behind our head, and the hand that's the end of the jo, it should be your right hand, is going to move down to the left. Then the left hand is going to move to the end, so they swap places. And now, this is where I hit the ceiling, but now we're going to extend the red tip up by grasping with your pinky finger. See how my arm hasn't moved yet, but the tip has. So, tip extends, and it comes a diagonal strike. And then as we reach as far as we possibly can, the right hand is just going to slide towards the left. This means that this end is very heavy, and it's that heavy feeling that we want when we strike. So, step out towards 1 o'clock, parry their ski behind you. The ski's coming here, you're parrying it behind you, and you're gluing your jo to their jo. You step in, jo is now moving behind your head. Your right hand moves down towards the left hand comes on top. Now extend the tip and feel the heaviness drop. If you're doing this, cutting down with your hands, and then the tip is dropping, all your heaviness is in your hands. You want heaviness to be transitioned to the far tip, because when you strike, this is what's going to be causing the impact. So again, walk to 1 o'clock, hands change, extend the tip, and then let everything drop and your hands come together. So many people say that Chiba Sensei holds his jo, his bokken, improperly. What do they mean by that? Well, let me grab a bokken. In classical sword work, our hands are separate. In Chiba Sensei sword work, our hands, I hate to say it, but are more like a baseball bat. Okay? Our hands are close together as opposed to classical sword work. In classical sword work, it's very easy to use the wrong hand and put strength and twist on your sword. So if you raise up and then you cut heavily, cut strongly, it's quite often that people will do this, hands come down and then they push. Yeah, it looks like this. Now, in our style of Aikido and weapons, we don't want to be using this hand. We want to equalize the cut. So what we do is we grab closer, raise up, and now both hands are extending out to cut. So my goal is to make impact at the same level as my head. So impact and then drop. Yeah, obviously you don't stop, but you're cutting here and then dropping, and so on. So back with the jo. Walking to 1 o'clock, parry their jo across, step, and extend, and hands come together so that the jo drops. Heaviness. So we've done ski, and we've done kesa. Now the last one we're going to do is really easy. It's a shomen. Let me come back to my shorter jo here. So Shomen, really easy. We're in Gyakute grip this time. The other two were Jyunte grip. We're in Gyakute grip. We're going to imagine a strike coming for our head, maybe also Shomen of some kind. We're going to step out to the side very slightly. So I'm out to my right very slightly, just enough so that if I did nothing else, their strike would miss me. As I move, I'm going to guard my head. So if they impact anything, they're going to be impacting the Jyo, which will force it behind me. Now I'm going to slide forwards and extend my arms. As I extend my arms, look what happens to the front hand. It slides down the Jyo here. You see this red line here? If I keep my hands locked where they are, that's as far as I can go. Okay, so picture that in your mind. If I let my hands slide, now I've gone another 4 or 5 inches. Okay? So allowing your hands to slide gives you more reach. So Shomen Uchi, gripping Gyakute, slight movement off the line, extend, push, cut with your right hand. Your left hand just guides. Okay? The hand at the end of the weapon, whether it's a Jyo or Bokken or Tanto, is the power hand. The other one is a guide. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And the cut comes from on top of the head. Okay. Try not to come from the side. You could end up bashing your ear. So come on top of your head and cut. All right. So let's join all 3 of these things together in what we call Sanpo. Sanpo, three cuts all joined up. So we're going to start in Jyunte. So palm up on the lower hand, holding the other hand like a hammer. We're going to pull the Jyo back and thrust, moving to 11 o'clock, thrust. Now we're going to imagine that somebody's thrusting to us. So we're going to move our foot towards 1 o'clock and cover the top of our head. Step in, do Kesa. Now we're going to pull the Jyo through our hand, slide back, and stab the cat. There we go. We're going to change the front hand over and do Shomen Uchi. Now from here, we want to get back to the opposite side, so the right foot forward. So we have a heavy Jyo, it's getting tiring. We let go, and it swings into our hand. Now what we're going to do is push this end over our shoulder, face the opposite direction, and we're ready to go with our right foot. So we're going to slide forwards to the 1 o'clock, thrust. Now we're going to parry their thrust. So we're going to step over to 11 o'clock, slide the hands to change. There's our Kesa. Now we're going to pull the Jyo all the way through, all the way back, change the front hand, and do Shomen Uchi. From here, we have a heavy Jyo, so we're going to let it drop, catch it again. Now throw the tip over. And we've completed 1 rotation. Again, this will be an exercise for you at home. Ski, Kesa, slide it back, change the front grip, raise it above your head, Shomen. It's heavy, let it go. Now throw this end over your shoulder and follow it. Ski, Kesa, push it back, change the front hand, Shomen. Front end is heavy, drop it, throw it over your shoulder. There we go. So Sanpo. So Ram, do we have any questions or comments or anything from the crowd?
No questions, but let me unmute everyone and see if there's any live ones.
All right. All right, people, now's your time. Tell me.
Hey, Julian, this is Josh.
Did I hear Josh in the background there?
Yes.
Josh, go ahead.
Can you show me the transition after the Shomen Uchi when you change direction one more time?
Yes. I'll use the bigger Joe. So he's talking about Sanpo, which was the ski, the Kesa, and we're coming into Shomen Uchi here. So we've changed, and I've got to watch the roof here, here. So as you can see, the Joe is fully extended, so it's heavy. So I'm just going to drop it and catch it again. Okay, now from here, I'm going to throw it over my shoulder. So the same shoulder that I'm holding the Joe with. I'm just going to push it over there. I'm going to rotate, and there it is, ready for me to catch. Okay, so it goes Shomen, drop it because it's heavy, and then just throw it over. So in your dojo, I know you do this exercise, and that's all we're doing. Yeah, Shomen, drop it, there. And I'm just following the red, yeah? Always facing the red. Shomen, drop it, turn over. Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Any other questions? And then we'll go on to 2 techniques. Was there a question?
Behind the computer.
Okay, Ron. Go ahead. Okay, Ron. Go ahead and mute, and we will go on to 2 techniques and then do Sancho. So let me know when I'm back, Ron. Okay, thank you. So the first technique we're going to do is called Uchiotoshi. Maki means winding, otoshi means drop. Okay, so we're going to be winding our Joe. And if you imagine that you're on a yacht, like a racing yacht, and you have to raise the sail, you're on this big crank and you have to crank it all up like this. This is kind of like what we're going to do. We're going to wind in both directions. Yeah, so it's a big motion. So the way we do all these techniques is we usually start with an attack and then respond to somebody's defense. So let's imagine that I'm going to do a thrust to this imaginary opponent. There, and now he's going to do Kesa, and it's going to come diagonally towards my head, right? So this is what we have to defend against. So I've done a thrust. The strike is coming in here. I need to realign myself. So I'm going to step with my back foot. It's about the 4 o'clock position. And then I'm going to bring my left leg so that my heels touch. Okay, let me move so you can hopefully see that. So I'm going to thrust, move to the 4 o'clock position, and then bring my feet together. So I've changed from looking directly forwards to looking at my partner, because my partner is the person I have to deal with, right? So I thrust, I step, and now I'm going to follow him with the end of my Joe, and then right hand is going to draw a big circle until it comes up on top of my head. You see my Joe is pointing down, and what should be happening at this point, I go back to using the big Joe. What should be happening at this point is I've moved, I'm guarding my head, and their strike is going to hit my Joe like so. So it creates a cross, not a square cross, but a cross like this. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the big Joe. So motion is thrust. Now I'm going to move off, and notice the Joe is tracking them. I lower my hand, and my back hand does a big circle, and my front hand follows. Heels are together. This way I can, ooh, I got a bad knee. So I can go all the way down without losing my balance. If I'm in hanmi, then I've got one knee going this direction, another knee going that direction. That creates a rotation. It's very hard to be stable. So we're going to thrust. Their attack's coming in. We're going to move to the back corner. Heels are coming together. Lower our Joe. Raise the right hand above our head. And impact. At this point, I'm going to throw my right hand forwards, and then my left hand. My left hand is going to follow my right. So right, left. If I was doing it towards you, so, okay. It's It's a rotation. So let's look at our rotation device. We thrust, there's a rotation. We step out, there's a rotation. And now we're going to thrust towards. So everything rotates. So I'm not trying to push the person's jo away. I'm not trying to push it away. I'm trying to slide down their jo and strike them while everything is rotating. Yeah. 1, 2, slide down their jo while everything rotates. Then once this makes impact with their hands, you're going to pull back. And remember, this is a blade. So you'd strike them to cut them, pull back to cut again, and then thrust into the center. This is Uchiotoshi. It's very easy technique if you don't try and do too much. So relax as much as you can. Thrust, move off the line, rotate, right hand followed by left hand, then right hand followed by left hand, strikes their hands, pull back and thrust. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time because my earpiece is actually dying and we don't have very much longer. So that was Uchiotoshi, winding, striking. It's something that you can practice on your own. It's something you can practice with a partner who's doing a Kesa attack to you. The next one we're going to do is Kaete Uchiotoshi. And like I said earlier, I know I said we were doing Kaishi Uchiotoshi, but if you know the difference, just understand we're doing Kaete Uchiotoshi. Now Kaete Uchiotoshi, we've actually already done, sort of. We did Kesa, then we slid down, we changed our grip, and we did Shomen. That's almost, but not quite, Kaete Uchiotoshi. The Kaete Uchiotoshi is easy. We're going to grip Gyakute, so our thumbs are together. Just hold the jo down here, and we're going to thrust. Thrust. Okay. From here, we're going to pull the jo back, all the way down, raise the jo above our head. Now from here, with my left foot in front, I'm just going to step back and strike. From here, I'm going to pull back again. I'm going to thrust again. So it's 2 thrusts from Gyakute. So let's do this again. We're in Gyakute grip, pull, slide forwards, thrust. From here, without moving your feet, all the way to the end, push it down, shoulder width apart, hands. Bring it above your head, step back, and then left hand is the power hand because it's at the end of the weapon. Extend forwards and down. So we would be hitting our partner's weapon down to the ground. Thrust, don't move, raise your hands, step back and cut down, reaching out towards our partner. And pull it back, push it out. So this is teaching us minimal movement. So in Birankai, in body arts, if you imagine somebody doing Shomen Uchi, we might turn and do this maneuver to do, say, Shihonage. Yeah? So here we are, without weapons, doing the same movement. 1, turning back. If we're doing Aiki-Jyo, we may also cut like so. So what we don't want to do, either with weapons or body arts, is step forwards. So there's no preparation step. So thrust, there's no preparation step. There it is, yeah? No, don't do that. Don't do a little preparation step. Yeah? It's 1 movement for the thrust and then turn. We're also not retreating our body, yes? So this is retreat, see the distance? All we're doing is rotating the hip. So, like so. So Kaete Uchiotoshi. Ski, pull back, raise above the head, turn your hips, strike. Then we pull back again and thrust. So we have Uchiotoshi, Jyunte grip, thrust, move off the line, guard your head, throw the tip down, thrust again. And then we have Kaete Uchiotoshi. We can do Gyakute grip. We're going to thrust. We're going to pull back, raise above, step back and strike. Pull back and thrust. So, yes, my earpiece has died, so I'm going to have to speak louder. Okay, so now we're going to do Sansho 1, Part 1. This is a kata that Chiba Sensei came up with. He taught us this for a long time and then realized we were absolutely horrible at all the individual movements. So he banned us from doing these techniques and had us work on the individual movements. There are 36 basic movements with some variations. So it's a total of 43 different movements. We have 12 plus variations from Kesa. We have 12 with variations from Ski, and we have 12 with variations from Shomen. And all of these techniques will be found in Sansho. Sansho 1 has 3 sections. Sansho 2 has 3 sections. And Sansho 3 actually has 2 sections, but most people just do the first one. So it's quite a long and complicated series of movements, but we're not going to do all of those. We're just going to do one side of Sansho 1, Part 1. And it's everything that we've already done. Okay? So let's start. We're going to start with a thrust, and we're on the winning side. We're going to win this confrontation. So we're going to do a ski, moving out to the left. They're going to do a kesa to our head, so we need to move out to the right. We're going to do Uchiotoshi, like we did earlier. Heels come together, protect the head, rotate down to the hands, and we finish with a thrust. Okay, now they're going to thrust to our stomach, so we're going to move around their jo and do kesa. Now, once we get towards here, they're going to knock our jo down, and the way they're doing that is by doing Aiki-Jyo. Yeah? So we're in the process of doing kesa. They do Aiki-Jyo and they knock our jo down. And now our face is exposed. So they're going to thrust directly to our face. So we don't have time to do anything, nothing fancy. So our hands are on the jo. Move back a little bit. Hands are on the jo. Their jo is coming straight for the face. So we're going to move back, lean back, raise the jo up. This pushes their jo above their head. Now we're going to step back. And without changing the hands, cut to their knee. And we've got to reach forward to reach their knee. Okay, let's try it again. We're going to do ski. They're going to attack our head. So we're going to move back and off the line, realigning ourselves. We're going to do Uchiotoshi. The heels are together. Uchiotoshi. And ski. Now they're going to thrust this opening here. So I'm going to lower my jo. Their jo is coming in towards me. I'm going to step off the line, parry their jo so it goes behind me. Step in and do kesa. So when it gets here, they're going to knock it down to the ground. Boom. So without moving my feet, as they go to thrust to my face, I lean back, raise the jo, step back, and strike their knee. You can see how you rotate. Now the important thing in Sansho is that you're moving in and out, in and out. You are responsible for creating the right distance so that the last couple of inches of your weapon strikes the target. If you end up right here, you're far too close. So you want to be hitting them right at the end. Okay, so let's do it together again. Thrust. Move out. We can do Uchiotoshi, heels together. Uchiotoshi and thrust. They're going to thrust us, so we're going to move across, parry it, so it goes behind us. Do kesa. They're going to knock our jo down and thrust to our face. So we're going to lean back, parry the jo above our head, step back, and strike to their knee. Go down, ski, move out to the side to the Uchiotoshi, and ski. They're going to attack here. We're going to move around, kesa. They're going to knock the jo down. Just going to lean back, push the jo above our head, step back, and strike their knee. Okay, you have to reach, because he's going to be a long way away. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is Sansho 1, part 1, solo practice. Much easier with a partner. In, Uchiotoshi, Kesa, back, trying to get anything behind us. You did play. All right, so we really rushed through a lot of this stuff, but it is just an introduction. It's just a way to kind of whet your appetite into Chiba Sensei's weapons practices. So, Ron, do we have any questions, or if you just want to unmute people?
Everybody's unmuted.
Everybody's unmuted. Okay, any questions? Anything you want to see again?
Thank you so much, Julian. Your knowledge and your ability to transmit it is just superb. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and the check is in the mail.
Hey, Julian, question for you though. The Kaete Uchiotoshi that you did, were you shifting your weight back before the final strike?
Okay, ask the question again, please.
So before you started doing Sansho, you did the Kaete Uchiotoshi, and I think you were shifting your weight. Are you shifting the weight back before that final strike? Because we're
on Kaete Uchiotoshi? No. What about, the way I describe it is you can retreat as you strike, or you can rotate your hips. So if you retreat, what I do is I basically stick a Joe there. I think you can see it, right? Maybe I should move over here a little bit. So if I stick a Joe here, so it's sort of in my center, you can retreat, which is your foot goes back and then your weight moves back. And you can see this big distance here. Big distance is created, right? Boom. You've got to sink back. That's a retreat. My understanding of Kaete push and almost everything where you're moving backwards it's more of a rotation. The step with the foot is all your weight is on, in this case, my right leg. So the weight is on my right leg. My left leg is now light. I can move it back, and that enables me to turn my hip. And you see, I haven't created this big distance. There's some, because my leg's moving back, and it has to be. Yeah? Wrong. So it enables you to mobilize your hips, as opposed to coming back, which plants you. So when you do it, come up, and the intention is striking forwards, not striking back. And again, if you watch this red line here, I'm getting in the right place. So if I step back, I come nowhere near, right?
right.
If I just rotate.
Gotcha.
Everything we're trying to do, as you know, is create extension. So we don't want to retreat, we want to extend forward. And that means that when we go empty-handed, even when we're doing, like they're doing Shomen Uchi, and we're going to retreat, yeah? So here they're hitting, there. So I'm extending towards them. I'm moving, my body's moving out of the way. It's just to enable my hip to extend. Now I can do Shikonai.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Nice class, Julian. Very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was fantastic. That was
Okay.
great.
If there,
Yeah, thanks, Julian.
if there are no,
Hey, Julian, can you
yes.
hear me? You going to do
Yes,
another
okay.
one of these? Is this a series or is this a one-off?
Well, you can't really tell, but I had to move every piece of furniture out of my living room. Stand by. I would not normally do this, but this is the grand tour of my house. So there's the living room table with all its junk on there. The bathroom has a bookcase in there. That's my couch.
Julian,
Okay. And
can you show me your refrigerator?
there's a cooler because my fridge died. And then here's all the junk everywhere else. So,
Oh, wow.
oh, you want to see my couch? Let me show you my kitchen. There's my couch. So also, it's 81 degrees in here, so I'm sweating quite profusely. Let me see, I've got to put this back the way it was here.
So the answer is yes, you're going to do this again.
Oh, sorry, I just ended the stream there almost. Yeah, the answer is it could be. If there's interest, I'm sure we can do another one.
Yeah, Julian, come out to Arizona, you can use the dojo out here.
I say.
Come out to Arizona, you can use the dojo.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We just don't die. I think that's the main thing. Okay, any more questions? Because it's been an hour. If you don't have any more questions, we'll end the stream. Thank you all for coming in. If you do have a question, by all means, hang back, and I'm here all day for the next I don't know, 3 months. So, welcome.
Very good, Julian.
Hi,
Bye, everybody.
That's Jonah.
Hi.
Hello, Jonah.
Hello.
All right. Thank you, Julian.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Julian.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care, guys. My cat says goodbye.
Hi, Pebbles.
There.
Hi, Pebbles.
Hi, Pebbles.
Oh, Pebbles. Hi, Pebbles.
The dojo.
Oh.
Cheers, mate.
Take care, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Stay. Wash your hands.
Cherry.